Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Stardom. I'm your host, Jukebox Ginger, and with me tonight is GravySauce. GravySauce, how the hell you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good. It's good to be on.
Yeah, just everybody listening, I don't know why, but the video is very glitchy, and we're just gonna roll with it. I don't really know. The audio sounds fine, so if you don't like the glitchiness, tune in here in about an hour or two when I have the audio up on Spotify and everything else. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what the hell's going on here. Anyways, man, how's your day going?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So
Yeah.
It's good to be just alive.
Yeah, relaxing. It's been a long day. I know I've been relaxing most of the day, but you had to work. Pretty long, stressful day for you.
Yeah, we had some stuff going on. I'm in transportation, so there's a lot of communication just kind of firing off all the time.
All right.
Trying to track it and make sure I'm responding accordingly. It's a lot.
Sounds like a pain in the ass, honestly. I mean, I do the same shit, different scale, different spectrum, but same shit.
Your shit's face to face.
Yeah, I deal with people in person. Well, I wanted to pick something, similar to what we're talking about tonight. So I went with, a lot of us have stressful days. So I wanted to find some stuff that might just lighten our days a little bit. So I found some stories of some people that had a pretty rough time, and we're going to share them, and then maybe it'll remind us of our own stories. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds great.
Let's do this. First up, a patient at work has just been told that they're too large to fit in the machine for a scan, so we're taking them to the zoo to use the elephant scanner. I've never felt so bad in my life.
Can you imagine being the technician?
Yeah, fuck the fat guy. It's their fault. The technician just...
Poor dude.
How do I tell him? No, you tell him. Come on, man. I'll pay you extra. Just go tell him.
Not a doctor.
I'm gonna record this. I am recording this, so it's going live. Okay, we're gonna let everybody know that we're telling them they have to go use the elephant scanner because they're too fat.
You have to, though.
Yeah,
Honesty is the best policy.
in Lawrence, I worked in a bistro, and this lady was using like the motor scooter because she was too big, and she was so rude. She came through. She was like questioning everything, being rude as hell to all of us. She goes and sits down and eat, and she gets done. She's leaving on that motor scooter, and as she's exiting, she hits like where like the ramp and the parking lot kind of meet, and then the curb kind of comes up.
Yes.
And her wheel catches it and dumps her off, man. She's screaming for help, and we're all in there. And we're cracking up, man. Like the ambulance shows up because she's throwing a tantrum. And it's you feel bad, but not really. I didn't feel bad for her at all. She was rude as fuck.
That shit starts on the inside. Oh man.
You got any heavy set coworkers or customers that have really pissed you off in the restaurant or anything?
Back in the day, I worked at a pizza place and I waited tables.
Right.
And this lady comes in and she's like squirrely as hell, just looking around everywhere, being weird. And I'm trying to keep an eye on her, but I'm busy. So right. I turn around for a second, and when I look back, she's dumping this whole plate of ravioli just right into her purse. And I was like, hey, lady. And then she starts running. So I'm chasing this lady with a purse full of ravioli just in the middle of this parking lot in Zona Rosa.
Oh, man. That's good.
It's memorable.
It's memorable. That reminds me of some of my culinary instructors from South Africa. And he said he worked at this hotel, and around Thanksgiving time, they would always have these turkeys that would go missing. And they ended up watching the video camera. One of their heavier set employees was taking a turkey and putting it between their legs and waddling to the school bus with a whole frozen fucking turkey. Like, I don't even know if you could be mad at them. Like that's just. It's not like you're gonna ask for the turkey back.
That's genius. I need to start eating.
Oh man,
the money we could save on turkey.
Oh yeah, no joke. If we were just super large, we could just stuff all kinds of shit between our legs, bro.
That statement can be taken in so many ways.
That's so true. All right, next up. I totaled my car while dressed up as Carrie, and everyone who was a first responder thought I was dead.
What do you mean by everyone? How many waves of first responders did they have? They're just like, no, I gotta call in more help.
Oh man, I've never. I did total my car once, and I hit a medium and I overcorrected, and I remember getting tossed around the back seat like it flipped upside down. It slid into this apartment complex, and I just remember like as I was tossing around in the car, one of the wheels fell off and like rolled down the street, and it's a main street. And the first thing I did when I dragged myself out of the back window was crawl down to get the wheel, and the ambulance comes rushing up to me, and they're like, "Lay down, what are you doing moving?" And I'm like, "Fine, the wheel was in the way." My fucking car was blocking the whole damn street, but I was worried about the wheel, blocking traffic.
Damn. I've only totaled the car once, but it was in the middle of the night,
right,
on a highway around here. I don't want to put too much information out there.
Yeah. Did you get pretty injured or no?
No, not a scratch. But the car just fucked. I barrel rolled, so it was just like it wasn't a car.
I did, I don't talk to my dad. I'm not a fan of him at all. I kind of hate him. Not kind, I do. But he told me a story when he was in college. Him and his buddies were super high, and they found a hostess truck, and they found the back door was unlocked. So they got in there, and they were snacking on hostess. Well, the keys were in the ignition. So they took the fucking hostess truck, and they were throwing racks of hostess out the back of the truck, and they went out to the fields just outside of town and went mudding with this hostess truck and flipped it over. And they ended up bashing out the windows, and they hear cop sirens coming, and they all like dashed in different directions. They all got caught except for one of their friends. Well, they all had the same story. They found it out there already, and they just busted the windows in. So they got out. They got out of it. Like just totally. They basically all had the same story, and it was fine. But this day, that would never fucking happen.
No, not at all.
I think the craziest being high story that I have would be going into like the fast food restaurants, which I've told this story on a previous one before, and like waiting for a car with a bunch of people ordering, and when they would like pull around to pay, you just like cut in front of them and take their food. Because they're gonna get paid, so they're gonna get their food. They're gonna get their food, man. So that's probably the best worst thing that I've done on weed or being high out of my mind. So
I have so many of those stories.
Well, you gotta share one at least. Share one good one.
So one time, I was doing some AC work with my dad, and we'd been smoking out of an aluminum little pipe.
Right.
And this AC unit was on the second floor inside, but like towards the roof.
Mm. So
we're up in there fucking around with shit, and this dude with the fire department comes in.
Oh, no.
Just looked at us, and we were like, "Are we cool?" And he was like, "Is it gone?" Yeah.
Do you remember when Noodles and Company came to Olathe and you and I worked there for like a day? And then like somebody like cut their finger open and they tried to get us to clean up the blood and we just like took off our aprons and walked out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The like CEO hands this 15-year-old kid this super new knife. It's his first job. And I was like, hey, he's going to cut his hand. And then he cut his hand. And they were like, clean up the blood. No. I told you.
Right. Hey, just so everybody's aware, I paused my camera feed, but not the audio, mostly because I'm glitchy as all hell. See? So, you know, is what it is. Sorry, they get to see your beautiful face.
It's cool being in slow mode, though.
I mean, it is, but it's not, man. Like, look at that. Look how glitchy it is. It's delayed as hell, man.
Yeah, fuck around with it.
Well, for everybody that is watching, I appreciate you. So let's get to this next one here. I seriously need a job where I don't have to interact with people. I just asked a table if they were celebrating anything, and when they said their dad's birthday, I brought them a birthday table decoration. And then they decided to tell me he's not coming because he's dead.
I would not know how to react.
I know, like,
there's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere. Like, well, they should have mentioned that from the get-go. I mean, of course, I wouldn't just bring a table decoration just because either. If it was a kid, maybe, but if an adult said, "Oh, it's my dad's birthday," I wouldn't just come out with a birthday decoration.
I mean, it depends. I have brought out, when I was waiting tables, cookies for a kid because it was his birthday,
right?
And his parents got fucking pissed because he was being a dick all day. And they don't tell you that, you know.
Yep.
I just heard birthday, so I was like, "Yeah, kid, cookies. Here you go."
Nope. He doesn't get them.
He's a douche. He gets no cookies.
I've always hated singing birthday songs because like I'm terrible at it, man. I'll go out there and clap my hands and I'll like lip sing with everybody, but that's it. Cause I have a terrible voice. I know I wouldn't want to hear my voice if it was my birthday, singing happy birthday to somebody.
every place I ever worked that started to sing, I was like, no, I'm letting you know right now.
I think the weirdest one is like Texas Roadhouse.
You have to dance with your singing.
Yes, and like it's just a whole line of fucking waiters and waitresses coming out there to sing. And then isn't it like every hour they come out and dance?
Oh yeah, man. Too? Yeah, well, food's just fucking burning out on the hot plate, you know.
Hey, this is cool and all, but that $35 strip, New York strip that I just bought is back there on your grill. Get the fuck back there and start working.
That prime rib. It's went medium rare to well.
I'm pretty sure there's no pink on this steak. As a matter of fact, that char is just proof.
They used to do that at Joe's Crab Shack too.
Dude, I forgot. Did you work at Joe's Crab Shack too?
No. I had some ex-girlfriends that.
Yes, I worked there with one of your ex-girlfriends.
That's right.
Joe's Crab Shack wasn't bad though. It was weird working there. I mean, the whole atmosphere. I mean, it's not like it really didn't have like a sea life vibe to it. No,
it was a super strange atmosphere.
Yes.
I felt like I was always in a really low-end barbecue place when I was
like, why is there crab here? I don't understand.
But it's all like, I feel like I could buy that crab at a gas station, you know,
right?
$5 a pint.
Oh no shit! You buy a bucket for like $30, and you're like, that's 6 crab legs. There's no way that's only $30.
Right. I only ever ate appetizers there. They were good, but
what's the weirdest restaurant you've been to? Can you think of one off the top of your head? That was just the food was maybe really good, but the vibe was really just off.
I worked at a bar in Minnesota, and it's in a small town. Like it's the only bar, and it was a hospital in the early 1900s. So They still had like the incinerator downstairs. That's where they kept their kegs. Changing those out was creepy as fuck.
That is weird. I used to work at a bowling alley, and like down the street from where I lived was a hibachi place. And it was a little hole in the wall hibachi place, but like the chef, I don't even know what you call the hibachi chefs. Is there a name for him?
Hibachi chef son.
I'm gonna go with that. Hibachi chef son. And he was about my age, and every time I would go in there, he would just do sake bombs with me. I would order like a $15 lunch meal, like the cheap end of this stuff. And then like the owner is this old lady, and she'd come in randomly and just fucking sit down and do sake bombs with us. And I would never get charged for sake, but I would always leave there like, what the fuck just happened? And they always acted like I was their best friend, and I never like really knew. I didn't even know their names, besides whatever he called himself when he was, because some of those probably just say random names.
No,
But
hibachi chef son.
Hibachi chef son. Is that your maiden name?
Damn right.
I do, however, love hibachi, and actually lobster tail at a hibachi, depending on the hibachi place, is probably the best way I've had lobster tail.
Same. All that butter.
Yeah, butter, man. I work at a bank, and this lady came in with $150,000 check, and to make conversation, I was like, "Oh, wow, wish I had one of these." Then she dead ass was like, "It's a life insurance check. I would rather have the person." Oh man, that would be so like. I don't even know how you'd respond to that one, man. I mean, it's just like
there is none.
No, you're a jackass. That's all this. You are a jackass.
You just stand there, just looking at him.
Not
your whole cup of coffee.
You just cover your face. Just hide behind. So. The whole time they're talking to you, you're like doing the whole process transaction. You're just like coffee mug up to your face so they can't see your reaction.
Yes, that's exactly what I would do.
That's what I would do.
Instead of something like really off the wall, like just yell, "What the fuck," and then leave with no resolution.
Oh, cool story. How close were they? I was not thinking, that's what this would be about, but I did have, this is not the same at all, but I worked at Old Chicago, right next to where Joe's Crab Shack used to be, and there was this guy that came in with his kids, probably like late 30s. I was 19, maybe, and he's sitting there eating with his kids. He's my first table of the day, so I'm like bullshit with him, and he's asking me all these stupid questions. So I'm just like, why the fuck is he asking all these questions? Kind of, if I grew up there, blah blah blah, while the kids are eating. And I was just chatting with him for like 10 minutes. His kids ate like 5 bites of their food, and he asked for the check. And like I go back to take some of the dishes back, and I go back to clean the table, and he's gone. And he left me a $200 check. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And he left me a note just saying, "Hey man, I figured you'd use this." And that was it. They ended up sending me home because they said I made too much tips.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
I will take it, man.
I've had something similar happen.
No shit.
Yeah. Just left it in cash underneath their pint glass. And just a little tiny note. Like I never got to say thank you in person.
Yeah, I remember.
If you're out there, due to the cul-de-sac haircut.
If you are currently watching Startup and you know us,
and you're at a Chili's in the year 2009,
first off, I don't know why the fuck you're stalking me, but hey, thanks.
I appreciate the $200.
Man, and he was like retired and shit, like mid-30s. It must be nice. I'll tell you what, I sure as hell won't be retiring that early. I'm damn near there.
No, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Also, the concept of savings, it's gone. I haven't done it. No, I probably won't ever.
It's and the funny thing is, like when I bartended, I bartended at a bowling alley, especially Cosmic Bowling Nights. College kids tip; they get drunk as fuck. You get them drunk enough, they will tip you whatever. So college kids keep doing that. And then so I'd make like $1,200 to $1,500 a week, cash. The problem was I had no benefits, no insurance. I was spending my money whenever I had it because I had it on me.
Same.
Yeah.
All the time.
It felt really good having the money, but like now that I'm older and don't have the money, I'm much happier with the 401k and the benefits and the insurance. And that's how I know I'm getting old.
I miss having a steak dinner whenever the fuck I want.
Yes. Oh man, I don't think I ever even had a fridge. My fridge is my like you've seen our fridges and our freezers are packed. When I was doing that, I never had that kind of food. I had leftover food that I didn't even eat. I ended up throwing it out because I had too many leftover boxes from eating out all the damn time, man. I remember one day I made like $400. There was a concert going on across the street, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm gonna go to the concert.
Absolutely. I'm off work. And I have $400. I'm gonna have a great time in that building right there.
I've spent all of that $400 and then some, but whatever. I'm pretty sure I saw Jane's Addiction, Incubus, and Sublime was there. It was Buzz Beach Ball, and I don't remember what year it was, but it was a hell of a good time.
I bet it was. That's
now awesome. I'm like, oh, dude, this concert, the same lineup, and I'll be like, I can't afford it. That's all right. It's okay.
The price of the tickets has gone up exponentially since
then. Joke, dude. We got Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg coming here next month.
Jesus.
And I'm pretty sure tickets are like a couple $100 a piece.
Dude, yeah. Iron Maiden and Megadeth came a couple of years ago, and tickets were like $200. Right. I would love to see them, but $200.
$200 for that. Yeah. Back in my cash in my pocket days, it'd already be done.
Absolutely. I would have bought them flat out.
All right. If you think you're having a bad day, remember the woman standing behind 3 mannequins.
How long did they let her stand there?
No joke. That was for those of you who don't see it. It's just 3 mannequins dressed up and this lady standing behind them waiting.
Awful.
That's pretty bad. I would honestly, if I was a worker, I would probably not say anything and just let her yell at me for letting her stand there.
I'd probably let it lie too.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have you had like something in your nose, hanging out your nose, and like you were working all day, and you're like, and you go to the bathroom to take a piss, and you go to leave, and you're like, what the fuck? There's like this little piece hanging out your nose. How long has it been there? Who all seen it, and why didn't they tell me? That's my mindset.
Call yourselves friends.
If my fly's down, like if I see a dude with his fly down, I'm like, hey man, fly's down. That's common courtesy. Yeah. Now, if I see mine's down, I'm like, how long has it been down, man? Who all saw this?
There's so much paranoia.
I'm glad I wore underwear today. I'm just saying.
I was at a bar like a week ago and realized I peed outside on the patio.
No shit.
Didn't mean to. These are things that just happen. And realized that there's just windows.
So all these people are just probably drinking and cracking up the whole time.
So the whole time I'm like, how many of you just saw my dick? No one's talked to me about it, which is weird.
I'm sure you'll be back at that bar at some point. Yeah. There was a place called Blue Iguana in Colorado Springs, and they had throwback Thursdays, and it was penny pitchers, and we would go. It was a $10 cover, and you could just drink all night basically for a penny a pitcher. Of course, it was PBR, but it was 10 minutes to walk there. It was about 2 minutes to drive there. So me and my buddies would drive there, hand the bartender our keys and our cover, and usually we would just throw them like $30-$40, and we would bring this beer pong table with us that like folded up, and we would just get smashed. And several occasions we'd get a cab ride home because they would always call us a cab. And again, 2 minutes down the road, and they could get us to the apartment complex, but we were always too wasted to tell them which building was ours. So half the time they would just kick us out because they were so mad and frustrated because we couldn't tell them, and we would never have to pay.
That's That's awesome.
Uh-huh. You have any good traveling drunk stories?
Traveling drunk stories?
Yes. Like you just been out vacationing somewhere and you got super smashed, did something stupid?
Traveling drunk. I went out to Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Okay.
It's not far.
No.
At all.
For us. No.
No. But down there, like, bars just didn't give a shit. And we step into this bar, and I think it's gone, so I could probably say the name.
Sure.
It's the Jungle. We step into this
terrible
bar,
name.
and this girl just pukes over the entire bar. And they hand her some paper towels, and she cleans it.
No,
and then they continue to serve her.
Oh, God. Talk about a small ass town.
I blacked out in like 45 minutes.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That's good. Yeah, I only lived out there for about a year, but man, I don't know how many times I got drunk and blacked out. This is back when I was blacked out drunk 4 days a week anyways. So
the early 20s were a good time.
Yes. 19 till honestly it was 2008 till about 2014. All I did was party. Because I was, like I said, I always was like cashiering or bartending or working somewhere. I was making decent money and it was just didn't have any priorities or anything to hold me back. So I was just always getting drunk.
I mean, same.
Yeah, man. All right, next up. Accidentally tripped an old lady. Meant to say, I'm so fucking sorry, and are you okay? What came out was, are you fucking sorry?
I'm going to say that next time. On my adventures, the next time I trip an old woman, I'm going to yell out, are you fucking sorry?
Are you fucking sorry? You just scuffed up my boot.
Are you fucking sorry?
Oh, that's good, man. That's good.
It's fucking fantastic.
I just get the facial expression on that lady. I can't imagine it being very pleasant.
No.
Either she was very pissed or confused. One of the two. Because depending on her age and like her condition.
That's true. That's true. Did you trip a woman with Alzheimer's? Because that's not going to be good.
Man.
You have to ask that question 4 more times.
Yeah. The paramedics and stuff show up and they're like, what happened? You're like telling them their story and the witness is like, no, he was yelling at her, dude. Like, I mean, we witnessed it. He tripped her and fucking yelled at her, man. He was screaming.
Verbally abused her for an apology.
He needs to be arrested. This guy is a nuisance. Get rid of him. And then you can't really argue it. No, what I was trying to say was, are you okay? And I'm sorry. But what I said was, are you fucking sorry? See, you see how you can misinterpret and just kind of
misconstrued.
It reminds me of like the Mr. Deeds scene with the kid throwing the stick in front of the skaters. And then like cheersing whenever they like tumble over.
My sister and I used to do that kid on bikes. Just right in the spokes.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. They're usually chasing us, so it's justified.
Yeah, whatever. I used to do the like the cards and the wheel specs to where like would make the noise when you rode it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hear me coming, block over. Thought it was so cool.
Yeah, man.
If I heard it now, I'd probably fucking push the kid off his bike.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just annoying.
I'll remember this moment. I have an alibi for you.
I guess it would depend on which card I pulled out too. If I pushed him over, I'd probably pull the card out. If it was like a 2 of clubs, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" And I don't even. There's like literally no like reason why it would matter what the card is. I would just want if it's an ace of diamonds or a king of spades, that'd be cool. Yeah. I don't know why, but it would be.
You're putting it in your bike.
Yeah, you might as well do a good card.
There's like a ritual to that. You don't put a fucking 2 of clubs.
How are you gonna get a 21 with the 2 of clubs? Come on, man. This is ridiculous. I don't know why I came up with that, but whatever. I thought it was pretty good. I used to those little attachments that you can put on the bicycles, and there was like a bench seat, and you could like pull people around.
Yes.
I had one, and I put a piece of plywood on there and a mower and my weed eater, and I would ride around the neighborhood on my bike and I'd mow yards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it wasn't bad. I was like 12 years old, I had my weekly round. And my mom always was like, don't ever charge more than like $30-$40, And this one guy, I guess, asked my mom that lived a couple blocks away if I'd mow a yard. He's like, it's a decent sized yard. And she goes, yeah, he's it'd be about $40. And I get there and it was like 3/4 of an acre. And I've got this push mower and I'm like 12 years old. I was so pissed. It took me all day.
Dude, that sucks.
To push mow this dude's yard. And then I weeded it. And I had to ride back, after that long ass day of pushing. And I'm just like, hey, fucking, this $40 shit's.
What kind of douche watches that happen? Yeah. And it's like, $40. So
he's like, up. Man, hey, you want to come back next week? Go fuck yourself.
Dude.
You know what? Take that $40 and shove it up your ass, bro.
I was not that enterprising when I was 12.
No.
I was like stealing cigarettes. Hanging out behind gas stations.
Oh, yeah. I got beatnik. A little 12-year-old beatnik.
It works. People feel sympathy for that kid.
Oh, yeah. All right. My coworker started crying because her boyfriend broke up with her through text. And my manager said, that's why we stay off our phones with work.
He has a point.
He does. Plus, it can't be that serious of a relationship. There's no way. So you definitely just shouldn't have been on your phone. You're not getting any sympathy from me.
That would be a fucked up way to like have lunch at work. I might take half the day off.
I'm not feeling so hot, boss. I'm going home early. I'm just saying. Let's see what else I got here. I had a good one. Where'd it go? Okay. I met a girl for a blind date once. She didn't say a single word throughout dinner, finished her meal, and walked out. I then checked my phone, and there was a message from the girl saying she couldn't make it tonight. Who the hell did I just eat with?
She just didn't say a word the whole time.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Do you think I can get away with that? Like tomorrow after
possibly,
work?
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk into a restaurant, look for a one-top.
Just sit down and eat the food.
You don't have food
walk
yet.
out.
I'm joining you. I'm not going to say shit, though.
No.
I'm going to make so much eye contact.
Just walk out. Oh, dude. Like, seriously, that's... Like, I don't know.
That's a social experiment.
If I would track him down. No, I wouldn't even bother. That's shit. They're just clever.
I'm getting a GoPro. We're making
yes, they would do it. You gotta. I will stream it live on here. Well, if I can get this glitchiness to stop working. I don't get it, man. It must be the computer. Because you're fine, and we're both on the same Wi-Fi. And I'm glitchy as fuck.
Yeah, it's got to be the webcam.
You think it's the webcam itself?
We could try like uninstalling it, reinstalling it, and see if that fixes it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, it is what it is. A lot of my people listen anyways. I get more listeners than I do viewers. So
we're rough looking dudes.
We are. I don't blame them. I don't want to stare at this. There's reasons why my wife doesn't watch it. And now she's got her brother on here too. She's probably like, fuck this episode. I've already heard all of these stories. This is absolutely ridiculous.
This is true.
All right. Just found out the 6,000 bricks we just unloaded went to the wrong address.
Oh, fuck.
No.
I quit. so fast.
The fact that I had to unload all 6,000. Like, you weren't wondering where I was and why I wasn't at the right address?
Dude.
Yeah. There's no way I did that in 10 minutes. You had plenty of time to call me and say, hey, man, where are you? Oh, I'm unloading the truck. How many have you unloaded? 50? Oh, okay. Well, load them back up.
No, dude. No. I used to shovel tile. And if somebody had told me, no, your pile needs to be over here, I would immediately just throw my shovel at them. Like, there's no civil way to continue forward.
Oh,
I'm not doing that.
Oh, man.
I've been working on this for hours.
No shit. You do it. I worked at a place called Griffin Wool Company for a very short time. They were sketchy as fuck. And the owner stole money like crazy. But he would have, basically, you would get, it was every kind of tire that wasn't automotive. So like tractors, mowers, anything that wasn't a vehicle, you'd get them, but they'd be like packed together in like 3s and 4s. So you're tossing truckloads of tires all fucking day, big massive ones, small ones, it didn't matter. And one day we had to work like 14 hours, and we didn't necessarily have to, but he's like, I'm gonna pay everybody overtime. And like literally everybody quit that week because he paid nobody the overtime. And we had half a mind of just burning the building down. Like, it was not it was a fucking shitty job.
No. When I worked at that bar in Minnesota, our checks would bounce, and it would take a few days before they would go through.
Mm-hmm.
And every day that it happened, he would just tell me to take a bottle of whiskey.
What?
So I'd take a bottle of whiskey, and this is the same place. Like, if you were moving too slow on the line,
right,
he lived right above it. And there would just be lines of Coke just all the time. And he'd like tag you, and you're like, you're too slow. And he'd point you upstairs. And
are you serious? Oh man, I worked at a Chuck E. Cheese at 15 in the kitchen, and the store manager was a bouncer at a strip club at night. The store manager of a Chuck E. Cheese. So right away, I mean, I'm like, this is fucking weird. And then you have like these like sketchy managers that look like they were crackheads. And then which why wouldn't you be? You're fucking managing a Chuck E. Cheese. Your life can't be that great. I mean,
Elfenbar was like that too. All of our managers there.
Really? Yeah. So they were run down, and I'm pretty sure like he was fucking most of the managers. They were just like these cracked out chicks. And they would go in the office and just shut the door. And I'm like, dude, this is a kid establishment. What the hell is going on here?
There are 7 birthday parties right there.
We are like maxed out population, right now, and your capacity, and you guys are in there fucking.
That's right.
I've got like 35 pizzas going in the oven right now, and you guys are in there just going to town.
Hey, you work in the oven at 15?
At 15, I was a cook.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I did Chucky a couple times. That wasn't very fun either.
No, I bet that's panic inducing.
Yes, man. I mean, you get in there and you could kind of look at the moms, but I don't know how many times I got like headbutted in the nuts by kids or kicked in the nuts by kids. One time I like walked into the kitchen and took the Chucky hat off and was holding it, all pissed off about something. And that kid came in there and like just ran off crying because he saw me with my head off. I don't want to fucking let your kid walk back here, man. I don't tell you. Why is your kid in the kitchen? I don't understand.
That's fair. That's fair.
Of course, in their minds, they're like this 15-year-old kids in the kitchen wearing a fucking Chucky costume. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that kid was running to cook himself.
Right.
If you hadn't traumatized him that day, he might be more traumatized now.
That's true. It's very true. Have you ever had to dress up in a costume besides Halloween, like for a job?
Well, yeah, but it was for Halloween.
For a job though, like you were working.
Okay. Yes, I got a job at Spirit.
Shocker.
And this was in Florida, so it's super hot out, like so hot, and they gave me this like spandex Elvis Presley costume. And I was just dancing like on the intersection of this highway.
Oh, great.
So hot. This school bus pulls up, and the bus driver like opens the door, leans out, and yells, "Hey Kanye, it's too hot. Go home."
That's good.
It's the only job I've ever done that for. I wouldn't do it again. I told them I wouldn't sing, and they were fine with it. And I was like, I just hang out outside all day wearing this.
Dude, if we were talking about a minimum wage job where I didn't have to do shit besides stand on a corner and hold a sign wearing a costume, I'd do it. If it was just because I needed a job and I couldn't find a job and I was stuck finding just the bare minimum, I would totally be a sign twirler on a corner wearing a costume.
It was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, if my life is that shitty, I definitely wouldn't give a fuck. Well, you know, and it's not even that it's that shitty. I'm sure. So sometimes you see these rundown people doing it, and then sometimes you see these, gifted people that are special that are doing it. Well, that's cool. Like that's respectful. But when you're just a rundown piece of shit, we're working a corner. No sympathy from me.
Rundown piece of shit. Working.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could be a nice person, but
I didn't make a lot of money on that corner.
but how long ago was that?
10 years.
Yes, so it's been some
Whoa,
time.
No.
More than that.
15 years.
I was going to say, I'm
old.
pretty sure you were younger than that.
Yeah, I was 20.
See, that's a different story. But if you're 35, if you're 30, let's say you're our age now, working a corner, twirling a sign. You're either special, or you're just a rundown piece of shit. and because you're taking these special people's jobs.
Like they have a monopoly. There's a union.
I think what's worse is if you weren't even doing it for a job and you just walk up there and gave them some money and say, "Hey, there's a Dairy Queen down the street. Let me take that sign and that costume for a minute."
There was when I was a kid. On my way to school, there was this dude who would twirl a sign for Little Caesars.
Right.
Really creepy guy. Really creepy guy. Like I always had these tie-dye pants on and these huge hats. And he didn't say anything to me for like 4 years. But I'm just standing at this light every day, no interaction.
Right.
And then one day, he turns to me and he looks me right in the soul and just says, "Pizza, pizza." And I never went back to that intersection.
What the fuck?
Who does that? 4 years of tension.
Pizza, pizza. Was it monotone like that too? Just pizza, pizza.
Yeah, very matter of fact. Not enthusiastic. And he was looking at me like he was going to eat my dog.
Oh, man. I've had some pretty interesting, like, drug-related intersection experiences.
Oh, lots of those.
I remember being in I had eaten some chocolate shroom bars, and I was walking, and I just remember everything looking like it was breathing. And I make it to the intersection, and I'm like, I was having a good time, but then I get to this very busy intersection. When I'm on small doses, by all means, I took small doses of shrooms. I think it's a great experience. If it's quiet, it's very enjoyable. But when it gets loud,
you can't be overstimulated.
No. And it gets chaotic. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like I see the cars flying by, but why is that red light bleeding? Like that's when you start questioning, should I be right here right now? I probably shouldn't walk this far.
Dude, I had a time where I was talking with a police officer and I'm peeking so hard. And his mustache is just getting longer. And then it's getting shorter. And then it's getting longer. And he's making really intense eye contact. So I'm trying to maintain it, but at the same time, his mustache is just getting longer.
You're lying to me. Why is your mustache growing? We went to, who was it? You remember Michael? The gothic guy, Michael. I think his name was Michael. Real tall guy, gay guy. Was it Michael, something like that?
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
He was we decided, this was back when I was a huge, druggie and drinker. And I was fed up with everything here. And I was like, I planned out like a bicycle trip 7-day trip across the state of Kansas into Colorado. And he's like, yeah, I'll go with you. So we packed up, we had a tent and everything. And we had 2 cigarette boxes full of joints. We made it to Baldwin City from Olathe. So 1-day trip, Baldwin City. It's pretty good, run. And then we stayed at Baldwin Lake because we go into the Taco Bell when we get in town. And he's like, yeah, there's a lake down here. You can just pitch a tent. So we're like, fuck yeah, let's do that. So we're there. We set up the tent, and we just got done smoking a joint in the tent. And the park ranger shows up. Yeah, you guys can't camp here. So we don't allow campers. Oh, well, the guy at Taco Bell knows, blah, blah, blah. So we sit there, obviously stoned out of our minds, and I'm sure he could smell it. The whole fucking area was, we just smoked. And he has to clear it with his boss that we stay there for the night because we were already set up. We're like, dude, we're going to be gone in the morning. And eventually it took him 30 or 40 minutes, and he's kind of bullshitting with us while we're waiting on his boss to okay everything. And he obviously checked our backgrounds and everything. And he goes to leave and gets stuck in the mud.
Ooh.
So we had to go help push his fucking car out of the mud. And we're stoned out of our minds. It was the weirdest. I mean, it was cool. It was just very weird.
That's a strange interaction. That is strange.
And then the next day, of course, he's like, I can't do this anymore, man. My feet are killing me. I'm like, dude, what do you expect? We're bicycling 7 days straight, and you're telling me your feet hurt? Fuck. So he backed out, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go by myself because anything could happen. I mean, I didn't have a phone at the time. And I was like, I'm not gonna get lost out in the middle of Kansas by myself.
No.
So I ended
in the wilderness.
Yes. All right. So I got, let's see, what do we got left? 1, 2. We got 2 more. You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we're right on time, man. 47 minutes. I've gotten pretty good at the timing on my shows. I'm doing good. If I could just get the glitching, I honestly, I'll probably just upgrade the laptop mic.
Yeah,
honestly, because I've been using this thing for a while. All right, next up, I just fell down an entire flight of stairs, and a guy at the bottom goes, "Oh shit, be careful!" As if I didn't already fall down the stairs.
What else is down there? I need to be avoided.
Oh, hey man, you should really be careful. Watch your step, man. Broken left leg. Just thanks, man. Thanks for the heads up. If you would have just not moved out of the way, you would have broke my fall. But it's all good, man.
Hey, man.
Appreciate
don't need to get hurt.
Appreciate your 2 cents. Have you ever ran up the escalator that was going down or down the up one?
Often.
We were at Crown Center, and I was a kid, and I remember I was running down the one going up, and about halfway down, I trip and fall, and I scuffed up my knee I cut my knee pretty good, but not only did I trip and fall, but then my jeans ripped and got caught in the thing. So I'm going up, and I couldn't. I mean, I was screaming because I was a little kid, so my dad had to run back and get me. But I couldn't figure out that if I just pulled my leg enough, I could just get loose. Instead, I was just freaking out because I have this gash on my knee, and I'm getting dragged up the escalators. That's my best story for the stairs, I guess.
Story for the stairs.
You got any skate jumping with a bike or anything?
Well, a week ago, I
is this the pissing on the wall? Same.
Yeah, same night.
Same night.
I fell down when I came home, and figured if I stood up, it was just gonna happen again. So I didn't.
Uh-huh.
I go to the stairs that lead downstairs,
right,
and just lay down and slowly slid until I hit the bottom.
I was here for this.
Yes.
I'm listening to this whole thing.
I'm sharing it for these good folks.
There is a wonderful video that you guys are not going to see, but yes, he definitely backstroked through the living room and down into the basement. I mean, I followed him asking him if he needed help the whole time, so it's on him.
My back felt fucking incredible the next day. I popped shit that I didn't know.
Oh man. I've never backstroked downstairs.
It's a feeling, man.
That's a first.
It's a feeling.
I guess it could be pretty pleasing. You know, whenever I'm having back issues, I like to lay on like a hard, cold floor.
Same.
I don't know what it is. The stairs. But like that, like, you know what I'm saying about the hardwood floor? Like, it's something about it. Like, it's just so relieving to just lay on the cold, hard floor. Like when I'm in a bed, I want cushion because it's comfy to sleep on. But when my back hurts, I want something stiff. So it's kind of contradicting if you really think about it.
It's the cold, I think.
Probably. That makes sense. I bet if it was a hot, flat floor, it would probably not be comfortable.
No, you'd be sticking to it.
All sweaty and gross. Just like your skin's like sliding as you try to move.
My back hurts. I gotta peel off. That didn't help.
I know, like, out in like the country, people that live on like ranch floors, they run water lines through the floor, like the cement floor, and that's how they heat their house. They heat the house through the floor.
That sounds awful.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
No, a lot of hot water, a big water bill. I would think.
A lot of big water,
guys. All right, so last one. This one's pretty embarrassing. I was at a coffee shop waiting for my coffee when I ate the largest muffin sample on a plate. Wasn't until I'd started one more sample that I realized it wasn't free samples, but someone's dirty plate that they returned to the counter.
Gross.
That's pretty gross.
That is gross.
That's pretty gross. I would be very embarrassed. I'd walk out.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, what kind of muffin, right?
Yeah.
What kind of
is
muffin?
This a $10 muffin?
Is this something that you wouldn't buy normally?
Can you clearly break off a side of it?
I mean, you thought it was a sample, so it couldn't have been like just crumbs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be a decent amount of muffin. And I mean, what was it? Was it Starbucks? I mean, because if it was Starbucks, that's an expensive ass muffin, anyways.
It'd be irresponsible.
Yes. I would still leave. Like, I just fucking did that for all these people.
I mean,
what do you call them? The ones who make the coffee? What's their name?
Barista.
A barista. The baristas are probably just like, what? You guys see this? This is actually happening. Look at this.
I did that at Starbucks briefly until my first Thursday. And high schools did like late start.
Right.
So like everything's fine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday hits and I'm making like, it's just frappuccino after frappuccino after frappuccino.
Oh man.
And I never went back. I'm not operating a blender that often.
Oh man. That's like hot dogs and pizza, man. That's all I've been doing the last fucking 4 months. I'm like, man, I don't want a hot dog or pizza. It just doesn't sound appealing. I'll eat one if I don't have anything to eat because it's easy to make.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't sound good. If you say, hey, we're having pizza for dinner, I'm like, that will be my response. I'll eat half of one. I'll eat half a pizza of a whole pizza. And the whole time I'm just going to be like, why am I eating this pizza?
The gift for dinner that I brought to you is an existential crisis.
Dude, in the apartments, I remember we used to, the one that we lived in together, we used to like doctor up Totinos. Do you remember that?
I do.
We would like throw tomatoes and
I had some
cheese.
Gross ass pizzas.
Oh man, back in the day.
Crumbled a bag of Fritos.
Dude, this taco pizza I just made with this Totinos. It's fantastic. I actually took 2 Totinos and I made a calzone. It's pretty fire.
I found some butter. I don't know how long it was in there.
Yeah, I sauteed this one. I didn't even throw it in the microwave. I sauteed this.
Oh man.
Well, gravy sauce. Always a pleasure, man. These shows are always so fun to me. It's just relaxing and bullshitting and just blowing an hour.
Likewise.
Right.
Oh, is that fun?
So everybody, again, I apologize for the glitchiness. And also, lately I've been on a Monday, Tuesday streak. I've also been booked about 5 weeks out. That's a good thing in my opinion. But I've been kind of overwhelming my free time, if that makes sense. So I think I'm going to take all my shows, both this one and the one that I do on Ibble, and I'm going to consolidate them down to Mondays. So every Monday, all of my followers and anybody new coming on here that listens to this, I will be releasing shows starting in about 2 weeks. I've got a few weeks of people that I've got booked that I'm going to go ahead and finish and then start fresh on Monday nights. And GravySauce will probably be a part of some of them.
Hey.
So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning into Stardom. And you guys have a wonderful evening.